Yes, welcome to the Sunday prep session. This week has been a crazy week, and I'm excited for the new week coming ahead. I'm going to be a little busy, so I'm probably not going to be live next week, but I will be in the Discord. So if you want access to my Discord, the link is in the bio for the Tradernometry Discord, where I go over my trades, my plans, what I'm looking at, my execution, all of that. So anyway, let's get into it. We're not going to be on here for a long time. So welcome to Tradernometry's Sunday prep session. This is where I slow everything down. The market is closed, so we don't need to rush. And we have a look at the market before the new week begins. We're going to be looking at what happened last week, what economic events are coming up. We're going to go through ES and NQ, build out a watch list, and then create both a bullish and a bearish scenario for the week coming ahead. So it's very simple what we're going to be doing today. We are going to prepare, plan, and execute. That's all. So I don't want to come into Monday, morning looking at the markets for the first time, trying to figure out what's happened, why it's priced, where price is, and, feeling like I'm going to rush into a trade or anything like that. Look where ES closed, by the way, 7,777. Wow. That's good luck numbers. Anyway, so, yeah, let's get to work and prepare ourselves. And by the end of the session, we are going to be able to see, what the major, what the market is, doing, where it's going, what events are coming out. Why are my levels important? What would make me think that, we're going to continue in a bullish, scenario? What would make me think that we're going to be bearish and kind of move down? And also, what would make me stay out of the market? Like, why would I not participate? Like, where? And of course, we have to, understand that there are times in the market when we should not be participants, and we have, as traders, it's our job to figure out when we shouldn't be, a participant, and of course sit on hands and stay out of the market. And of course, what's gonna have my most attention? I've been trading NQ a lot, and I'm probably going to stick with that for the remainder of August, just because of how volatile NQ is, and just the way it moves. I've been liking the way it moves much more than ES, right? Anyway, so let's recap, right? Let us recap first and foremost, and I want to zoom out. So right now we're on the 30-minute chart, and we are going to go to the beginning of the month. So August, to start August, very, very bullish, right? And we have just pumped. So from when market opened on August 3rd, we have ran to a high from 7,543 all the way up to 7,819. So that's 3.67%, 1,106 points, right? So instantly, so we had this gap up. If you're looking on ES, we had this gap up. So this was Friday, 31st of July. Friday closed here and Monday opened here. So technically, we still have this gap right here. This is an unfilled gap, and we tapped into it and we just ran up. We ran all the way up. So at some point, markets like to fill these gaps. You just don't know when it's going to happen, when they're going to refill it. And yeah, so we know there is a gap below. So we opened right here. We're going to do it from the New York Open, when the American stock market opened. And the high of the week, where did we close? Right here. So we have Monday open. Come on. So Monday open is right here. And Friday close. I mean, it's not a, you know what, let's go to the daily chart. The daily, I think that would be much better. So just so we know exactly where we opened and stuff. So yeah, open, and then price opened here, pushed up here. So we actually closed here at 75. So that's the close on Friday. So we can see that this entire week, if we go to the weekly chart, we can see this week is absolutely bullish. So we opened here. Well, that's not the open. The open is actually here. So the open is, we opened there. If you understand how candlesticks move and stuff, so the candlestick opened right here, it pushed down a little bit, and then it just ran all the way up here. The high was here, so Friday's high was right here. So Friday high, Monday open, and then this is Sunday night's low, which is like right here underneath, which I don't even want to mark because it's just so so close. So Sunday close, sorry, Sunday open. So the market opens on a Sunday, of course. I hope y'all know that. Yeah, so Sunday open is right there. Let's go back to the daily chart. This is the high. Why did I say Friday? This was Wednesday. Oh gosh, so this was not Friday. Friday never made the high. Wednesday made the high. So this is Wednesday high. Friday high was right here. Right? So we know this entire week the bulls are in control, right? The bulls are in control all week. Absolutely all week. And my laptop is making hella noises. So we can't be on here for too long. Anyway, so previous week high. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this as previous week high right there. We're going to delete this open, and we're going to do previous week low, and then we're going to leave it like that. I think that's much cleaner, because when we come in, we're going to know where the high from the previous week is, where the low from the previous week is, and then we have a level, you know, that we can base off of, and then we're going to get Friday's highs and lows as well. So do we do it for the entire Friday, or do we do it from New York? Let's just do the whole of Friday. So we're going to go Friday low, and then we're going to go Friday high. And we are going to leave it just like that. Friday low, Friday high, previous week high, and then previous week low is there. And then major support and resistance. So we know, of course, let's do this on the 4 hour. Oh, wow. Is this ES made? Is it ES made all-time highs? Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. I was not privy to that. Wow, ES made all-time highs. So, wow. So if ES made all-time highs, so we know right here is a major demand. We're going to do it above. Let's just do it above. And then this is going to be red. And we are going to do it like this, because look at this. We had these highs, previous highs right here. Let's push this across. So we haven't retested this area yet. So if price breaks back down to this area, we know that it's likely going to bounce off of this level. This is the 4 hour. I also like these highs right here. And we kind of broke it, based it, and then pushed up. So I like these highs right here. This never managed to reach it fully. And what else we got? So this is ES, of course. We are zooming out. This is the 4-hour chart. I like these as well, these highs right here. We're just going to get a couple of them. We don't want to go too far down, because if we do, then I'm not entirely sure that price is going to, from where it closed, that's over 1,000 points. Yeah, this is over 1,000 points, and the reality that it's gonna get hit in a day is very slim. Like, this was not a 1-day move, and so it's like, if we break these kind of levels, then we can, like, make an inference that, yeah, price is likely going to come back down and kind of retest these levels. So I see these lows here. I like these lows. So right here, right here, right here, right here, data or something happened here, but also right here, all of this. I really like that level, and so we're going to keep that level. And that's it. That's all we're going to do. So I'm not necessarily looking at these as entries. It's just, it gives me a point of reference where I can base my trades off. And if we go down to the hourly chart, then again, we can see how clean these are. These are really clean. This can obviously get moved up a little bit more, but I'm okay with this. It just showed that price broke over this supply zone, closed above it, but it failed, like instantly failed. This created a bear flag, and then it just dumped. So I'm okay with this level. I'm okay with where these are, sitting right now. Anyway, so that's ES. That's ES. I will come back to this in a second. Let's just map out NQ first and foremost. So NQ is pretty much done, because like I said, I was actively looking at NQ. Can I delete this? No. Let's go to the monthly. No, weekly. Let's go to the weekly. So we have previous week high and low. So previous week low right here. And then previous week high. Previous week high right there. And we are good to go. Let's zoom down to let's go to the 1 hour. So we're going to go Friday highs and low, and we're going to do it just like this. So Friday highs, we're going to do it here. Friday high right there, and then Friday lows is going to be down at this level right here. Friday low at this level right there. So we have previous week high, Friday low. I'm glad I didn't overstay my welcome on Friday, because look at this. This just did nothing on Friday. Yes, there's a lot of action there, but it just didn't move anywhere. And then we are going to keep these levels, because these levels are important. You can see, and I kept missing some of these, man. Really just, I feel like I'm gonna have to wait for next week to print, and then we can refine some of these levels kind of going forward. So for example, like this as a supply, I'll keep this, but maybe this one I'd want to refine it to up here. I'm not sure yet. So we're gonna leave these levels, especially since like this happened. Price came down here, bounced off of it. New York opened, it swept it, came back down into this area, and then just pushed it back up. And yeah, previous week low is right there. Also, this is where Monday opened. So on NQ, it actually closed the gap. Okay, that's interesting. So NQ actually closed the gap. ES tapped into it by 1 wick and then ran. NQ closed the gap. Interesting. So will price actually go back down there? I'm unsure. But we're going to follow the structure that we have Right now we are extremely bullish, and this just looks like it's a pullback priming to go higher. So from the open, which is down here, we see price do it all the way. Let's do it here. Price pushed there, came back down, pushed. I mean, it's doing all of that anyway. But let's go here. Price pushed up, came back down, did this, came back down, and then we're just looking for price to go higher and stair step. Right? That's essentially what we're looking for, and the levels show that. So we just have to just trust these levels and see where price wants to take us. So we've got all our levels marked out: highs, lows, previous week high, previous week low, Friday high and low. These Friday high and low is going to be really important coming into next week. If we kind of break these levels or stay within this range, we might either get chop. If we break above it, we might get continuation. But of course, watch out for fake outs on either side of it. One thing I want everybody watching these sessions to understand is that the lower time frame makes a lot more sense when you understand what's happening on the higher time frame. So we're looking on the higher time frame. So on the hourly chart, we can see what's happened on the hourly chart. If we now break down into the lower time frames, we can see exactly kind of what's happening and stuff. So I normally use the 15-minute, the 10-minute, the 3-minute, and the 2-minute. So we can see on Friday, we pushed up into our supply zone. And once we pushed up into our supply zone, price just dumped. So, oh, okay, I can't go any further. So price pushed up into our supply zone and then it just dumped. Pushed up, pushed up, pushed up. So I don't like longing into supply. I don't like being overly bullish into supply because, yeah, it can just bounce. It can just reject on you very hard, like very, very hard. Same thing, I don't like being short into demand because imagine someone was short down here thinking that, yeah, price is going to continue to go lower because of this big move up, and then price just bounced on them and then, you know, took it higher. You know, they're getting stopped out. So that's why we have to keep these levels in mind when we're trading. Anyway, let's move on. So hold on. So let's move on to the economic calendar now. Let's have a look at what's going to be going on the economic calendar on that side of things. And let's get it back. So this is our entire week. So there's no data happening on Monday. On Tuesday, again, there's nothing happening of importance that I think is important. So Australia has their, you know, cash rate, RBA monetary policy statement, rate statement, press conference, etc. I don't personally think it's going to have a big impact on the market at all. You see, data is going to come out at 5:30 a.m. UK time. Anyway, I'm going to be asleep. And that's, what's that? That's like midnight in New York. So, I mean, that's going to be the overnight session anyway. I'm not an overnight trader. I've dabbled in it and I've always lost, so I don't trade overnight. But the big one is coming on Wednesday 12th, which is CPI. So for me personally, typically days before CPI, very choppy and, you know, not a whole lot happens. And yeah, but we've been seeing really good price action during New York. So what are we going to do? We are, of course, going to be trading New York session. Even though it's the day before CPI, we just have to be aware that price action is more choppy on those days, and we have to be comfortable with taking profits much sooner. So yeah, CPI is scheduled for 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That's 1:30 p.m. UK time. So for me, CPI morning is not a morning to be jumping into trades blindly before the numbers actually come out. We have to be patient and actually not take a trade before the data comes out. So first, I'm going to let the data come out, and then I'm going to let the market react, see what the market wants to do, and then I'm going to be able to assess from there. I don't need to do anything before then. And then on Friday, another big one. On Friday, it is yellow folder rather than red, but it's core retail sales that we have to be, aware of. So, second half of the week is where things really happen. So PPI on Thursday and then retail sales on Friday. Be aware of it. Know that it's coming out so you don't find yourself in a trade and then, there's a spike and then you're like, what happened? Like, oh my God, da, 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 da. So just going over that again. So on Wednesday, we have core CPI. On Thursday, we have core PPI and unemployment claims. And on Friday, we have core retail sales and of course, the preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Important. So the market likes to actually react to consumer sentiment. So let's just be aware of that, right? And that's it for the economic calendar. Let's go back. Let's move on. Let's get back to the charts. Get back to what we know. Okay. We're just going to be focusing on NQ. And we're just going to get our levels correct for the week ahead. And then we're going to get out of here because we are done. And maybe we're going to look at some stocks to see, where they at. We're going to do, we've got that already. I'm just checking my notes to see if I've missed anything. Yeah, no. So let's build out our scenarios, right? So from the low, see we had this. Ooh, I saw this in July. I saw it was so close to my level, right? So close to my level, and then I saw this. It never hit it. I was jaded, and then it just bounced. Anyway, what we can see is from July, it made this big move up, making higher lows, big move up. So what this is telling me, honestly, and I will show you, is that price wants to continue going higher, right? Price has hit these levels and price wants to continue going higher, which I don't blame it for, wanting to do that. But we have to look at the lower time frames in order for us to continue, this uptrending move. We've just hit a supply zone right here. We went above it, broke below it, closed below it, did the same thing again above it, closed below it, went back above it, and Friday closed. Now, when the new week happens, we have to see the price maintain above this 29,700 level. If price, this is going to be like our, let's call this right here 20. Actually, we're going to do it for let's do it here. We're going to call this our line in the sand. We're going to make this red. And this is going to be our line in the sand. Line in the sand. So basically, if price breaks below this level, I'm aware that this is the supply zone. So if price breaks below, I'll be looking for it to retest and then come back down into these levels right here. And then if that happens, then I know that if price, boom, retest, kind of does this, like this is a scenario for price to go lower. What we want to see is a pullback into this supply demand level, and we want it to kind of make its own, we want it to base in this area, right? we want it to base in this area and then start moving up, you know, breaking previous day highs or whatever. Oh, I'm just messing this up. We want it to kind of base into this area, move across, but also moving up, creating higher highs and higher lows at the same time. And if we can get this break back above Friday's highs, then we can see us coming into this supply up here at 30,000, you know, because we got to 30,000, which was right here. 30,000 was right here, pushed up into our supply, and it just dumped on them. So in order for us to kind of be confident, we want to see us, like I said, pull back into this area, break Friday's highs, you know, use it as a base to go back into this area. That's ideally what we want to see, you know, on NASDAQ, you know, in the week ahead. And same thing for ES, you know, let's build out. This is the 15-minute chart. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, this is very clean. 30-minute chart is, we can create something right here. Right here. This is just like a micro demand zone. But what I would want to see, if we don't get this push up into supply, you know, into Friday's highs, we either want to see us break above Friday highs, base, and push up. If that doesn't happen, I think that price is going to come down here. This is another, you know, scenario that I would be interested in seeing, right? Is price coming back down to this, where we see, you know, sellers, where we've seen sellers before, which is like right here. We've seen sellers right here. Sorry, we've seen buyers right here. And if we can see that, oh crap, what is going on? We're seeing it right here again, bought up. We're seeing it right here again. And so we could just as likely see it happen again here. Now, if price does the opposite, meaning it doesn't maintain, and we see price break through this, retests this level, breaks below the Friday's lows, we're gonna see us come back down into this demand down in here. So that's our bearish, you know, setup, our bearish scenario, bullish and bearish, right? So we need to see price reclaim Friday's highs, base break retest, you know, show that buyers are in control in order for us to push to previous week high, which is 7,820, and of course all-time highs, and keep going, right? And eventually maybe we go to 7,900 and end of the year 8,000, but that's very ambitious. Ideally, what I would like to see is, because if we was to take this zone out, right, this 30-minute level out, if we was to take this out, we're in between these two zones right here. We are not far from the supply high, but we, you know, if it doesn't pull back here, we're definitely coming down here. Remember, if we look on the hourly chart, there's just nothing holding this up. Like, there's just nothing holding this up. And so we just have to be cautious and just, you know, play the range and just play the levels. And that's it. That is it. So you look, guys, need to trade safe, follow the levels, you know, trust your plan. Like, have a plan for both, you know, bullish and bearish setups and scenarios. Oh, whoa. I took, where was it? I think it was on this day, Tuesday. Yes, it was on Tuesday. And also have a stop loss, because I tell you what, on Tuesday, I had a trade. Let's go to the 3-minute chart. On Tuesday, I had a trade right here, and I messed up really bad, right? I had a trade short, and I entered right here. I entered again right here. Oh, I don't like this. Oh my God, bro. I entered right here. And then I entered somewhere up. Oh, jeez. And then I entered somewhere up here. What did I do? I entered here. I never accepted my loss. I averaged down here, here, and here. I got very lucky because I then took the trade off right about right here, right? So I was pretty much break even. I made $500 on the day. That was wrong. I should have never done that. So yes, sometimes it's gonna, price is gonna flush through your support levels, it's gonna blow through your demand levels, whatever it is, right? And you just have to take the trade, because I then saw this trade right here. No, this is still Tuesday, right? Yeah. I saw this trade, it moved 26 points, 25 points in my favor. So you this see it hit your supply and then it rejected it. That's just an example. It hits your demand and then it bounces up. You just have to be comfortable with executing, when you see your setup. I was at the gym. This is no, not this day. This was Wednesday. There was a day in particular I saw. I remember it was at 1:30 or something. Is this 12? Yeah, 12:30. So I saw this happen. I was at the gym. I saw price coming down to this level. Had I been at the computer, I could have taken this trade, but I probably wouldn't have, because, it's outside of my time to trade. So we have to be comfortable with actually executing and taking our trades when we see our setups happening. Because if I had an order set right here, look how much price ran in my favor. That's 150 points. Yes, it never worked out here, which is, fine. It's not always going to work out, but we just have to be comfortable at executing, on our plans and on our setups. And just, if we have to take a loss, we have to take a loss. It's not the end of the world. There's going to be other opportunities, and we just have to believe, in our own systems and stuff. And that's the only way we're going to be making money in these markets. So anyway, just before we head out of here, let's set our risk plans for the week. I'm actually going to type this out just so, we can see, what our scenario is. Scenario for the upcoming week. Okay, how are we gonna do this? What should we do? So, trade max 1 to 2. Market was actually really volatile. I feel like, I'm still gonna do 1 mini max. So we're gonna trade 1 mini max. Stop loss for the week is going to be $500. No, per trade. If I do $500 per trade, that's 2 trades down 1,000. $250 to $300 per trade. $250 to $400. Actually, no, it should be $400. Yeah, because $400 is 20 points. And then my take profits, of course, I'm going to be letting it slide, but my take profit is 50 points. But I'll 50 points max, but I will trail. Right? So if I'm in a trade and it moves 10, 20 points, I will start trailing, and then just, not having to worry about it. We're going to do max 3 trades per day. And that's it. We're not going to kind of go over that. No moving stop loss, accept risk, or get out of trade. No averaging down into losing positions. in this market, I don't even want to average into trades either. So no news trading, because we're staying away from all of that. And our primary objective for the week is to protect capital. And then I will follow my systematic edge, which gives me the best probability for success. Okay, so we're going to be trading with one mini. Stop loss is going to be anywhere from $250 to $400. Sometimes it does run beyond that, so I'm going to have like a hard stop for like 25 points, which is $500. I did $50 points. My TP 50 points. 50 points max, but I will trail as price moves. Maximum 3 trades per day. No averaging down. And then yeah, that's gonna be it. So we're gonna leave it there. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully I'm able to stream. If not, I will be in the Discord. The link is in the bio for the Tradernometry Discord. If you want access to my trades, because there is a lag on YouTube and I might not be streaming. So if you want access to my program, how I trade, what I look for on a day-to-day basis, then yeah, the link is in the bio for the Tradernometry Discord. And we will be doing another review session next week as well. So I will catch you then. Peace out.